Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my February TBR, or all the books that I'm hoping to get to in February. So without further ado, let's just hop into the video. So I decided to do things just slightly differently this month because I hardly read any physical copy books in January, and actually I hardly read any in the end of the year because I just started getting really into Kindle books because I can read them at night and I don't have to be holding them. But I really want to get through some of my physical TBR. So I asked Stephen to choose 10 random books for me to read. And I'm going to be honest with you, I probably won't read all of them, but it was fun for him to go through and choose things that were out of my comfort zone. So who knows, maybe I'll pick them up. But I'm going to start with the 10 that he chose, and then I chose 10 for myself that are, some of them are physical copies, but most of them aren't. So that I'll go through those ones after I go through the 10 that he chose. But I'm going to be honest with you, I probably won't get through half of these. First book he chose was The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. This is actually one that I've been meaning to read for a really long time, and I do want to get to it because I love Christina Lauren's books. So I asked Stephen the reason why he chose each book, and he said he liked the cover of this one, so that's why he chose this one. But I'm really excited about this one. I will get to it this month. I think it'll be a good one to read, especially while it's gloomy and snowy and stuff, to just pretend I'm on a beach somewhere reading this. The next book that he chose is Maggie Moves On by Lucy Score, another one that I'm really excited about, so I'm happy he chose it because I do really want to get to it. So I'm going to prioritize this one as well, and the reason why he chose it is because there's a dog on the cover, and of course that just makes a lot of sense. This one is HGTV too, because sort of kind of vibes, because they're fixing up a house, they're flipping a house, and it's a YouTuber. So I think this one will be very fun to read. I hope I actually read this one. The next book that he chose is The Wedding Crasher by Mia Sosa, and another one that I don't know why I keep putting off, because I am really excited about this. I've heard really good things about this one and about Mia Sosa's writing in general. I don't think I've read anything by her, but I've heard really good things about her books. So I do want to get to this one hopefully this month then. The reason why he chose this one is because of Wedding Crasher the movie. Yeah. So he I don't know if he thinks it's the same concept or not, but he said because of the movie. The next one he chose was Wild by Cheryl Strayed. This one I don't really know much about. The reason I have actually this book is because Stephen's sister and mom gave me all of their physical copy books before they moved out of the country. So I have a bunch of books from them and that I really don't know anything about, but he chose this one, which is them. And the reason why he did is because he said it looked cool. It looked cool and it sounded interesting because he read the spine and said, "From Lost to Found on the Pacific Crest Trail." So I'm not sure what this is about, but who knows, maybe I'll pick it up. I kind of think that it's nonfiction, so I don't know if I actually will get to this one because I don't know if I'll be feeling nonfiction, but it'll be a good one to get me out of my comfort zone because I have been wanting to read more books that are out of my typical genre. The next book he chose is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. Again, he chose this one because there's a dog on the cover and a dog mentioned. I, again, don't know anything about this one. This is another one of the books that his sister or his mom left for me, and yeah, I don't know anything about this. I kind of think that this one might be a classic, but I'm not sure about that. I think it might be also a play based on this one, but I really know nothing about this. The next book he chose is Sam's Letter to Jennifer by James Patterson. If you're new around here, I take the dust cover off my books until I've read them. I don't know why, I just do, and then once I've read them I put the dust cover back on, so that's why there isn't a dust jacket on this. This is another one that his mom or sister left for me. I actually read a very similar book as this by James Patterson when I was first getting back into reading. It's called Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas. So I think this is probably going to be like a similar concept, and I really liked that one, but I don't know. I just haven't heard anything about this. I haven't read James Patterson in a long time, but the reason why Stephen chose this one is because he'd heard of James Patterson, so that's why he chose this one. So this is another one that I'm not sure I will actually get to, but it'll be interesting to read if I do. The next book he chose is Get a Life, Chloe Brown, because he thought it was funny. He read it as like Get a Life, like Get a Life, Chloe Brown, like. So he thought the title was funny, and this is another one that I'm actually really excited about, but I haven't picked it up because it is part of a series and I don't have the second or third one, so I haven't started it. And also I'm trying not to start series right now until I get through a bunch of them that I already have ongoing. So that's why I haven't picked it up, but maybe I'll have to pick this one up this month because I have heard such good things about this. I'm actually reading Talia Hibbert's YA book right now and I'm really liking it. I've read a few other like her novella type books on my Kobo and I really liked it. So I really want to read this. I just have been trying not to pick up new series, but maybe that will have to go out the window for this one. The next book he chose was Two Wrongs Make a Right by Chloe Leese, and this is another one that I really want to read. I haven't read anything by Chloe Leese, but I've heard such great things and I really want to read either like this one or the Bergman Brothers series. But the reason why I didn't pick this one up as soon as I got it is because I found out it's going to be part of a series. And again, I've been trying to avoid books that are in series, especially ones that are like aren't finished, because I know that they're all going to be like standalones, but I've been trying to avoid series right now. But I do really want to read this one, so I'm excited that he chose it. The reason why he chose this one is because he said it was right in front of him at the time and none of the ones around it were speaking to him, so that's why he chose this one. The next book is How to Love Your Neighbor by Sophie Sullivan. This is the second book in the Jensen Brothers series, and I have not read the first one. I own the first one, but have not read it. So I don't know if I'll actually get to this one because that would mean I'd have to read another one in order to get to it. But he said it looks cool, it looks cute, and it is another HGTV kind of vibe book, and I've been really wanting to read these books. Like a bunch of them have come out recently, and I love HGTV, so I really wish I was gonna read one of these, but I just haven't yet. So I do want to read this one, but it's part of a series, which again I'm avoiding, and this is the second book in that series, and I just physically can't make myself read things out of order, even if they are like interconnected standalones. Okay, and last but not least, he chose Hot Half Flower by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is like the fifth book in the Calloway Addicted, the Addicted/Calloway Sisters series. And so I haven't started that series at all, so I would have to read like 4 or 5 other ones, I think 4, before I would get to this one. So I probably won't get to it, but I really do want to read this series. I have such FOMO about the Addicted series because I keep seeing people talk about it everywhere, and I really liked Amore Amore by Kristen Becker Ritchie and like the Circus's Family series. So I really do want to read it. I just haven't. So again, this is a good one. This is a good pick, but I just don't think I will get to it. The reason why he chose this one is just, he said this one was just completely random. He just chose this one at random. So there you have it. So the next couple of books on my TBR are books that are in series that I have ongoing because I'm really trying to get through a bunch of those books. So majority of my TBR is going to be dedicated to those books. So I'll go through those ones and then I'll go through the few that are just outside that I've been wanting to read. So the first one is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. It's the second book in the Alex Stern series. I read Ninth House in 2021 and I really liked it. I did think it was some parts were like adult just to be adults, like I think she added some traumatic elements that like just to make sure it's an adult book because it was her first adult fantasy book and not a YA. So I think there were some added elements in order to really make that come across that weren't necessary, but I really did like the first one, and so the second one I think just came out last month, and so I really want to get to that one this month. I don't want the cover on my bookshelves, but I really want to read it, so because that first one ended on such a cliffhanger, and now I've been waiting for it for like a year and a half, which is another reason why I've been avoiding series that are ongoing. Like, the next book is the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. This is the second book in the Friend Zone series. I love Abby Jimenez's writing, and I don't know why it took me so long to continue this series, other than the fact that I had just have a ton of series ongoing, but I really want to get back into this one because the end of the first book was heartbreaking, and so I know that this one is going to be really sad, but I'm really hoping that she gets a happy ending. I can't remember the name of the main character in this book, but I really hope she gets a happy ending because she deserves it, and I'm like really heartbroken after the first book for her. The next book is Crazy Stupid Bromance by Alyssa K. Adams. I really want to continue the bromance book club series. I think these books are just so much fun. They're perfect for like a cute, fluffy rom-com in the middle of some fantasy books, or in the middle of just like if you have been reading a lot of like longer, heavier books. These ones are perfect little pick-me-ups. I think they're just so much fun, and I really want to continue with the series, so I really want to read the third one this month. The next book is My Darling Arrow by Saffron A. Kent. I started this series with like a novella. It's like a 0.5 book, and I tend to actually avoid those books. I don't know why, but I don't hardly ever read them in series because I just usually think they're unnecessary to the story. But that one was like a full-length book on its own, so I read that one first and I really liked it. It was a bully romance, but I didn't really think that it was, but like I was able to forgive him. A lot of bully romances I don't read that much often because I'm not able to forgive the bully, but that one I was, and I like really liked her writing style in that book, so I'm excited to continue with the series and see what other kind of tropes are in the other books. I'm not sure if they're all bully romances or not, but I want to continue with that series, so I want to read it's technically the first book in that series, but I want to continue with it and with My Darling Arrow. The next book is The Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake, and I just got the Fairy Loot edition in the mail recently. The dust jacket is even prettier of this, and it's just so gorgeous. I really want to read it. I enjoyed the first one. It was okay, but I just want to read it because it's so gorgeous. I really wanted the editions to match too, which is why I ordered the Fairy Loot edition of this one. But this one came out like I think November, so I've been waiting to get the physical copy so I could read it, and it's finally here, so I'm hoping to get to it this month. The next book is Scarlet Angel by S.G. Abbey. It's the third book in the Mindfuck series, and I don't know why I stopped in this series. They're so easy to read. They're really quick. Like they only take they're all like only around 100 pages, the books. So I don't know why I stopped reading this because I loved the first two. When I was going through my 5 stars of 2022, I was like, why did I stop these books? I loved them. I give them the first two both 5 stars. So I really want to continue, and I want to read the third one this month. Maybe I'll even go back and read the first two so that I can refresh myself on what's going on. I don't know why I stopped it. I really want to get back to it. The next one is Block Shop by Kennedy Ryan. This is the second book in the Hoop series. Another one. I've been really loving sports romances again, so I'm excited to get back into this series. I liked the first one, but it was a lot. There was a lot of like on-page triggering moments. So I took a break from this series for a while. I know the reason why I took a break from this series, but I loved her writing style, Kennedy Ryan's writing style, and so I really want to get back into the series, and because I'm on my like sports romance kick, that I think this will be a perfect one to add to my TBR, which I think I will actually stick to. And last but not least in this little section is Dukes of Ruin by Angel Lawson and Samantha Rue. This is the 4th book in the Royals of Forsyth University. The first 3 books follow the Lords, so the concept of these books is that it follows a bunch of the different fraternities and they each have their sort of like shtick. There's like the Lords, the first 3 were about the Lords, the next 3 are about the Dukes, and I think the 3 after that are going to be about the princes. So I'm really excited to read this. They are very dark. These are very dark romances, so make sure you check the trigger warnings before you read them. But I think they're kind of like they're kind of a wild ride. They're if I'm in the mood for a really dark romance, this one is a good one for that. If you're in the mood for a really dark romance, I think then you might like these. So, but make sure you check for trigger warnings before you read these. But I want to read about the Dukes and see how that differs from the Lords. So I'm hoping to get to that this month. So I realized I actually only have 2 books that are outside of like series or the ones that Stephen chose for me. This section won't be very long, but 19th book that's on my TBR is End of Story by Hayley Scott. I've talked about this book like nonstop. I don't know why, but I'm really excited about this one. The tropes and everything like that sounds super good and I really want to read it. So this is the only new release that's coming out in February that I'm like, I need to read that this month because I don't know, I've been talking about it for so long that I'm really excited about it. I really hope I actually get to it. But if not a big deal, but I really want to get to it. And I think I might even pre-order it, so I'll have a physical copy of it to read. Okay, and last but not least, I have One in Rome by Sarah Adams. This one just seems like a really short and cute romance to throw in this month. It's also part of the 23 books that I want to read in 2023, so I'm actually hoping to get through those books. And I think this actually will be the first one, if I do read it, that I want that from those books. Unfortunately, I've been very bad at not reading them so far this year, but I'm hoping to get to this month because it's very short. I think I can do it in like a couple days and it just sounds super cute. I've been wanting to read some Sarah Adams books too, so if you have any recommendations of other books by her, let me know in the comments. Okay, and that's all of the books that I'm hoping to get to in February. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.